The diet of Spartans on the battlefield was, for the most part, simple and functional. They had no access to a wide variety of foods, but relied on ingredients that were easy to carry and that provided the energy required for long marches and campaigns. One of the most traditional dishes in the Spartan diet was black broth, melas zomos. This dish was made mainly from pork, blood, vinegar, and salt. That mixture, strong and unusual in flavor, was regarded as a nutritious and adequate food for Spartans. Black broth was prepared during great sacrifices, and consumption of the dish took place primarily at the Syssitia, the collective meals shared by Spartan citizens. The first important report on black broth comes from Plutarch, who in Life of Lycurgus describes the dish as an essential part of the Spartan diet, and further explains that, at the Syssitia, the older members drank only the broth while the meat was eaten by the younger. In his description, Plutarch relates that a king of Pontus, after tasting black broth, disliked the flavor and was advised by a Spartan cook to bathe in the Eurotas River so that he could savor the dish with his eyes, since, according to the Spartan, the food could truly be enjoyed only by one who possessed a Spartan spirit. Historically, pork was quite accessible, being bought in Sparta's local market, often with the money collected in the monthly contributions of the Syssitia members. Those contributions, as mentioned by Plutarch, were a crucial element of Spartan organization. This dish, simple yet invigorating, reflected the life of Spartan soldiers, unluxurious yet effective in providing the nutrients necessary for a Spartan warrior. Moreover, black broth was a dish deeply connected to sacrificial rituals in Sparta, frequently prepared after animal sacrifices, which added a sacred character to the meal. In addition, barley bread, known as Maza, also played a crucial role in the diet of Spartan soldiers. Made from barley flour, alphyta, mixed with water or milk, Maza resulted in a thick paste or in a flat loaf. Plutarch, in his Life of Lycurgus, details the Spartans' diet, noting the importance of barley bread in their daily fare. In the morning, Spartans ate bread soaked in wine, diluted with water, a quick meal that provided energy to start the day. For lunch, the barley bread was accompanied by olives and figs, providing a balanced combination of carbohydrates, protein, and fats. At dinner, barley soup was the main dish, often served together with more barley bread. Barley, unlike wheat, was easier to cultivate and was widely available in Sparta, but making barley bread was more challenging due to its density. For this reason, Spartan barley bread was often toasted before being ground into coarse flour, which made the dough more suitable for the heavy, nutritious loaves the Spartans ate. Maza, or the paste made from barley flour, could be served in different forms, such as porridge, dumplings, or flatbreads, and was often accompanied by cheese, honey, or other simple ingredients that complemented the meal. Athenaeus, in his work The Deipnosophists, The Banquet of the Learned, lists several kinds of bread eaten in ancient Greece, including maza, which he describes as a grain paste mixed with water or milk. He records that those breads were eaten not only in daily meals, but also on special occasions such as banquets and celebrations. Goat cheese was another common food in the Spartan diet, served as a complement to barley bread during meals. Goat cheese, rich in protein and healthy fats, provided a good source of energy for the soldiers, especially during long training days. That intake of foods rich in fats and protein was vital to ensure that the soldiers had enough energy to endure intense physical training. Figs, fresh or dried, were an important source of quick energy because of their high content of natural sugars. This fruit was convenient for soldiers as it could be easily carried and eaten during campaigns. Grapes, fresh or dried, also formed part of the Spartan diet, providing a good supply of vitamins and carbohydrates. The ease of storing and transporting dried grapes made them a practical choice for Spartans, who were often on the move. Game meat was also one of the most common forms of protein consumed by Spartans. Spartan society valued hunting as an essential skill for military training, and many young Spartans were taught to hunt as part of their education. The hunting of wild boar, deer, and other animals was common practice, and the meat obtained from such hunts provided essential protein for the soldiers. Although game meat was more common, fish also formed part of the Spartan diet, especially in coastal regions or when the soldiers were campaigning near the sea. Game meat, such as wild boar, could be roasted on spits or cooked in large pots, while fish could be grilled or fried, depending on the resources and equipment available. Finally, of course, Spartan soldiers enjoyed good wine, yet in a way different from other peoples of ancient Greece. Instead of drinking wine neat, as was common elsewhere in Greece, the Spartans diluted their wine with water. In his histories, the Greek historian Herodotus mentions the importance of wine in certain Spartan practices. He describes, for example, that during Spartan banquets, wine was consumed, but always diluted with water. Wine undiluted was considered excessive and inconsistent with the Spartan ideals of discipline and self-control. The practice of diluting wine was a means of avoiding the negative effects of alcohol and ensuring that the soldiers remained sober. Another relevant point is that during military training, the young Spartans, known as the agoge, took part in a series of rituals and tests, and wine featured in some of those ceremonies. One example is the krypteia, a kind of secret training for the younger soldiers, in which they were sent to hunt helots, the slaves of Sparta, and during those missions, wine was drunk as part of a rite of passage. The Spartans were also known for their contests during banquets, where the consumption of wine could be a test of endurance. Plutarch, in his Parallel Lives, notes that one of the greatest challenges for Spartans was to drink large quantities of diluted wine, partly to test their physical and emotional endurance. So, if you enjoyed learning more about the diet of Spartan soldiers, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you in the next video.